Let's start with the generalized heat conduction equation in Cartesian coordinate, or it can be said as conduction equation in Cartesian coordinate. So you can see here it is a rectangular element, or we can say volume element, in which dx is a thickness in a x direction, dy in a y direction, and dz in a z direction. And so this is a phase. This phase is A, B, C, and D. So heat coming through the x direction, that is qx, is a heat coming through the x direction, and at the same time from the phase this E, F, G, and H, heat is going out, that is qx plus dx. Similarly, heat coming in the y direction, that is qy, and heat going out of the y direction, that is qy plus dy. Similarly, for z direction, heat coming qz and heat going out, that is qz plus dz. And internal heat generation, so internally heat generated in this volume element, that is qg, is equal to small qg dx dy dz. So dx dy dz is nothing but it is a volume of the element. So this figure shows for x, y, and z direction. Now here we have to find out the total energy stored in the element, or you can say that is generalized heat conduction equation. We have to find out in the Cartesian coordinate. So for that, T is a temperature at the left face ABCD. So here the temperature at this face is a T, temperature at left face ABCD, and the dx is a thickness in a x direction, and dt by dx, so that is the rate of change of temperature through the distance dx. Okay, and t plus dt by dx into dx is a temperature at EFGH, at the face of EFGH. So temperature change through the distance dx. Now Qx is a heat coming into the element, and Qx plus dx is a heat going out of the element. Now total heat accumulated in the element, we have to calculate the total heat or total energy stored in the element. Suppose take 100 joule is a heat coming into the element, and when it going outward, so here 20 joule is going from the face EFGH. So 80 is the energy stored in the element, for example. Similarly, there may be some energy stored in a y direction, and there may be some from a z direction, as well as there is an internal heat generation in the element. So let's start with the energy balance equation. So how to solve this equation? So this equation is solved by the energy balance equation. So energy balance equation is, we can write down energy balance equation is, we'll change the color. So we can solve this by the energy balance equation. So energy balance equation is net heat accumulated in all direction, so that is in x direction, y direction, and z direction, or we can say that is part A, plus heat generated in the element, so that is heat generated in the volume element, or you can say in the element, we will say that is a part B, is equal to total energy stored. So is equal to total energy stored. So we can say that is a part C. So we have to solve this equation. A plus B is equal to C. So net heat accumulated in all direction plus heat generated in the element is equal to energy stored. So net heat accumulated means heat accumulated in all direction, x direction, y direction, and z direction. So we will solve the first part, that is A part, then we will solve the part B, and then we will solve the part C, and then equate all the equations and find out the final equation. So first we are going to solve the part number A. So net heat accumulated, that is heat accumulated in x direction, heat accumulated in y direction, and heat accumulated in z direction. So let's start with the heat accumulated in x direction. So heat accumulated in x direction we will find out, then y direction, and then z direction. So heat influx, so heat coming into the element, so that is called as a heat influx, heat coming into the element. So that is from the Fourier's law. Fourier's law is Qx is equal to, so we know that Fourier's law is equal to Q is equal to minus Ka dt by dx. So that is the Fourier's law. So Qx is equal to minus Kx. So here we are considering the thermal conductivity in x direction, that is Kx, thermal conductivity in y direction, that is Ky, and thermal conductivity in z direction, that is a Kz. For first, here we are selecting the thermal conductivity different in a different direction. So here Qx is equal to minus Kx. Now what is the area? So in the Fourier's law we are taking the area at the right angle. So when Qx, heat is transferring through distance x or through distance this dx, so area at the right angle, or we can say perpendicular area for this. So here this area is a perpendicular area, so this is a y and this is a z, so that is a perpendicular area. So dy into dz is a perpendicular area we are taking. So kx dy into dz, so this is the area, and here we are taking a partial derivative because temperature is depend upon x direction, temperature depend upon y direction, and temperature depend upon z direction. And for the time factor d tau, in the sum book it is taken as a d tau, or in the sum book it is not taken because at the last it is going to cancel. So d tau is a time factor for this time interval. This is a heat influx. Now heat efflux, or heat going out through the distance dx, or we can say that is a heat efflux. So heat efflux, that is Qx plus dx. So if you solve this by the Taylor series and neglecting the higher term, you will get the equation is Qx plus dou by dou x of Qx to dx. So this is a heat efflux, so heat going out of the element. If you solve this term, you will get the from the Taylor series, you will get this equation by neglecting the higher term. Okay, so this is heat influx and heat efflux. Now this is for x direction. Now what is the heat accumulated in x direction? So we have considered here 100 joule is coming heat influx and 20 is going out of the x direction. So 100 minus 20, that is the heat accumulated in the by the x direction. So here we can consider, so that is heat accumulated in x direction is heat influx minus heat efflux. So heat influx minus heat efflux. So I will write both the equations here. So heat influx equation was, so heat influx is, can take this color. So heat influx is Qx minus heat efflux equation was Qx plus dx. Now I am putting the value of this Qx plus dx from this equation heat efflux. So that is Q of x plus dou by dou x, Q of x dx. Okay, now when you taking this outside the bracket, so taking this outside the bracket, so signs are changed, Qx, so now this is become minus Qx minus dou by dou x Qx into dx. So this plus Qx minus Qx cancel, so this equation remains minus dou by dou x of Qx into dx. So this is heat accumulated in x direction, but here you can see Qx. Now from the Fourier's law or from the heat influx, Qx is nothing but minus kx dy dz dou t by dou x into d tau. So I am putting this value in this equation. Here I am putting the value. So this equation become minus dou by dou x. Instead of Qx, I am putting the value, that is kx into dy into dz. So kx into dy into dz dou t by dou x into d tau. So that is t by dou x into d tau and dx as it is. So here dx, so I will write here as it is. Now I am simplifying this equation. So now this minus minus become plus, and when dou by dou x and dou t by dou x, or you can write that is dou square t upon dou x square, and inside bracket I will write kx as it is because this minus minus become plus. Now dx, dy, dz and d tau. So I will write dx comma dy into dz into d tau. So this is a x direction heat accumulated. So I will give here equation number 1. So here heat is accumulated in x direction. Now similarly for y and z direction. Similarly for y and z direction. Okay. So here I will write in y direction and in the z direction. So in the y direction, this change only is dou square t upon dou y square, and here instead of kx there is a ky into dx, dy, dz and deta. So this is equation number 2. This is for the y direction. Similarly, for the z direction, this becomes dou square t upon dou z square to kz dx, dy, dz into deta. Deta is a time interval or time factor. Now this is heat accumulated in x direction, y direction and z direction. Now here we are solving the part number A. So what is the part number A? Heat accumulated in all direction. So we have to add these three equations. So we will get the part number A. So for part number A, we will add equation 1, 2 and 3. Add equation number 1, 2 and equation number 3. So I will add these equations, and there is a common part is ky, dx, dy, dz and d tau. This is the common part for all the equations. So for x direction equation, for y and for z. So I will keep that part common and remaining part I will write. So this becomes this equation becomes for heat accumulated in all direction, or that is a part A. So kx dou square t upon dou x square plus ky dou square t upon dou y square plus kz dou square t upon dou z square, and the common part is dx, dy, dz and d tau. So this is a we have solved the part number A. So I will give the equation number 4 for this part. So this is a part A. Now we will solve the part number B and then part number C, and then again we will equate these equations. So here equation number 4, that we have solved the part number A. Now what is the part number B? Part B is a heat generated in the element in the unit volume. So heat generated in the element. So heat generated, that is capital Qg, is given by heat generated in given volume. So dx, dy and dz. So volume of the element, if we check this is the element. So in this element, so dx, dy and dz is the volume. Now we will take d tau, so heat generated for this time interval. So here this is equation number 5. So this is a part number B. Then we will go for a part number C. So what is part C? Is a energy store or total energy store or change in internal energy. So you can calculate that part number C from the equation. So energy stored is nothing but the mass of a body into specific heat of a body into rise in a temperature in a given time interval. So rise in a temperature of body in a given time interval. So we can write down that equation. So mass of a body is nothing but density into volume. So rho into dx, dy, dz. So that is a mass of body into specific heat is C into rise in a temperature with respect to time. So dou T upon dou tau, rise in temperature with respect to time, and for a given time interval, that is a d tau. Okay, or I will write this equation that part C, or let part C is rho into dx, dy, dz into C into dou T by dou tau for a given time interval d tau. So this is a part number C. So we will give the equation number 6 for this part number C. Now our energy balance equation was, that is A plus B is equal to C. So that is the energy balance equation. So A is nothing but the net heat accumulated in all direction. B is nothing but the heat generated in the element, is equal to C is a total energy store or total energy change in internal energy. So I will write all the equations here. So first A part we have got, that is Kx dou square T upon dou x square plus ky dou square T upon dou y square plus kz dou square t upon dou z square into dx, dy, dz and d tau. So that is the part A. Okay. Now plus what is the part B? So internal heat generation, that is Qg in the unit volume. So dx, dy, dz is volume for a given time interval d tau is equal to, third part is a C part. So that is a total energy stored, mass of a body into specific heat into rise in temperature for a given time interval. So that is rho into C into dou T by dou tau into dx, dy, dz and data. So just I have rearranged this equation. Now if we check in all the equations, or in A part, B part and C part, so dx, dy, dz, deta, dx, dy, dz, deta, that is a common part. So we can divide this total equation by dx, dy, dz, deta. So it is cancel dx, dy, dz and deta. So remaining part is, so kx dou square t upon dou x square plus ky dou square t upon dou y square plus kz dou square t upon dou z square plus qg is equal to rho c dou t by dou tau. So this is the equation, Cartesian coordinate equation. But again here kx, ky and kz, this is a thermal conductivity in x, y and z direction. So here we got the Cartesian equation, but we have again simplified, want to simplify this equation. So here kx, ky and kz, so this is a thermal conductivity in x direction, y direction and z direction. But if the material is homogeneous, anisotropic, what is homogeneous, that same material throughout, then it possesses the same property. When it is isotropic, it possesses same properties in all direction. That means thermal conductivity in all direction remains same. So kx, ky and kz must be the same. So kx is equal to ky is equal to kz is equal to k. So instead of this kx, ky, kz, I will write the k, and again we will solve the equation. So we can write this equation k dou square t upon dou x square plus k dou square t upon dou y square plus k dou square t upon dou z square plus qg is equal to rho c dou t by dou tau. Now we will divide this equation by k. So divide this total equation by k. So I will divide this equation by k. So all term we are dividing by the k. Now this equation becomes, so this equation only remains dou square t upon dou x square plus dou square t upon dou y square plus dou square t upon dou z square plus qg by k is equal to rho c by k into dou t by dou tau. Again we got this equation, but rho c by k, we know the thermal diffusivity. So thermal diffusivity is nothing but k upon rho c. So thermal diffusivity is alpha, denoted by alpha. So that is k upon rho c. So it is nothing but the thermal conductivity upon thermal capacity. So it is a ratio of thermal conductivity to the thermal capacity. But here we are having rho c by k. So instead of that we can write 1 upon alpha, because alpha is k upon rho c. So we will write this equation once again. So dou square t upon dou x square plus dou square t upon dou y square plus dou square t upon dou z square plus qg by k is equal to 1 upon alpha dou t by dou tau. So this is a final equation in a Cartesian coordinate or in a 3 direction. So this is Cartesian coordinate equation. Now we can simplify this equation. Sometime in the examination it is also asked. So simplify in a Fourier's equation, Poisson's equation and in a Laplace equation. So we will solve for the Fourier's equation. So first is a Fourier's equation. So what is a Fourier's equation? In the Fourier's equation we are neglecting the internal heat generation. So Qg is equal to 0. So where we are not assuming that there is internal heat generation. So this equation becomes, so that is dou square t upon dou x square plus dou square t upon dou y square plus dou square t upon dou z square plus qg by k. We are neglecting this qg by k, so this term will not be there. So is equal to 1 upon alpha dot t by dot tau. So this is a Fourier's equation. So we are simplifying in the other form of equation. So this is Fourier's equation. Now second part is second equation is a Poisson's equation. So in the Poisson's equation, when we are assuming that a steady state condition, so steady state means temperature does not depend upon time. So dot t by dot tau is equal to 0. So that is a steady state condition. So again, in this equation now we are assuming this dot t by dot tau term is equal to 0. So this equations or this final equation becomes dou square t upon dou x square plus dou square t upon dou y square plus dou square t upon dou z square plus qg by k is equal to, now we are assuming that dot t by dot tau is equal to 0, so it is equal to 0. So this is a Poisson's equation. And third equation is a Laplace equation. So Laplace equation. In the Laplace equation, we are assuming that there is a no internal heat generation, means Q is equal to 0, as well as there is a steady state condition, dot t by dot tau is equal to also 0. So the equation becomes dou square t upon dou x square plus dou square t upon dou y square plus dou square t upon dou z square is equal to 0, because we are assuming Q is 0 as well as dot t by dot tau, that means steady state condition is there. So this is a Laplace equation. So this is generalized heat conduction equation in a Cartesian coordinate and their simplification form. So in the Fourier's, Poisson's and Laplace equation. So thank you.